Hi everybody, I hope you're doing well. Before I start this video and you'd like to use OCD Recovery's coaching services, please reach out to Phil at ocdrecovery.com and he'll get back to you as quick as he can. So yeah, today guys, I wanted to speak about compulsive dating app usage, the dangers of that, what I did in terms of dating app usage, you know, how it got me into trouble, why I don't necessarily recommend, you know, rigid use of dating apps, etc. So yeah, with with dating apps, right? And, you know, from an ROCD standpoint, these can get us into trouble, right? Obviously, you can be single and have ROCD. You might have had a relationship, and then ROCD might have set in, and then, you know, your relationship may have ended, and then, you know, the relationship ends, but the ROCD stays, right? That's definitely the case for me. It's one of my main themes that I used to have really quite bad, actually. And yeah, being single with ROCD, what I'd do is I would, you know, really feed into that ROCD behavior of being a single person, you know, and I'd spend a lot of time on dating apps, you know, your Hinges, your Tinders, Bumbles, etc. And, you know, I did that because in the main, when I was like dating somebody, I would automatically feel very compressed and very tied down. So whilst I was sort of dating this person, you know, being able to compulsively go on dating apps was my release from that. And it'd be like, oh, well, you know, I can still, you know, have a look in the shop window, see what's out there, you know, fear of being in the wrong relationship, fear of getting tied down, and not having those feelings of connection with the person I'm dating, you know, having that release by going on the dating apps, would basically say that, you know, there's no way I'm going to get tied down here. There's no chance of me being in the wrong relationship if I keep my options open. Time and time again, that would be my default. It'd be like a habit in the end, and it just keep me in the merry-go-round of, you know, going on a date with somebody, you know, thinking the grass is greener, then going on a dating app again just because I was scared of being in the wrong relationship, and then, you know, the cycle starting over and over again, finding someone else, you know, seeing there's something wrong with this person that I'm dating and going back on the dating app, you know, round and round and round, never getting me anywhere, keeping me stuck and just feeding into the ROCD loop, right? You know, the things with dating apps, they give this impression that the grass is always greener, you know, that there's always going to be somebody who's better out there, you know, they might be better looking, have a better job, you know, live closer to you, which is more convenient. You know, these dating apps and these algorithms that they use, it's going to convince you that the grass is always greener. It's going to convince you that there's options, that you have all of these options. You know, it's even like going on Instagram. When you go on Instagram, go on your Instagram feed and you go in the search bar, you see the pictures of all these people. And, you know, you can scroll, find the person that you like the look of, and, you know, your brain thinks that you have all of these options. But the reality is that you don't have those options, right? They might be living somewhere else. You know, you never even met the person. How do you know you're going to meet them, etc.? And it just gives this fad that you have all these choices in terms of dating, but you really don't. And I think as well, it gives us really unrealistic expectations about dating. You know, you can't really cherry pick people, you know. As Rob said before, like, you know, back in the medieval times, back in the olden days, people would literally get married to the person in the same town as them. You know, it'd be the one person or in the village that they know, and that would be their lot. They'd you know, strike up a relationship, get married, etc. You know, they wouldn't have access to all these options, and, you know, dating apps and social media make us think that we do, right? So yeah, for me, I probably at my worst, I'd be spending like an hour a day on a dating app, you know, and looking back, it was just such a waste of time, very silly, you know, just constantly feeding into my ROCD, just low frustration tolerance as well. I think that's a big one. You know, you're not tolerating certain aspects of a person, you know, you think there's somebody better out there, and yeah, it really just doesn't help you. Excuse me. Also, what I'd say is the fear of rejection as well. So when I really used dating apps quite a lot, I was still pretty scared of rejecting. You know, I wasn't going out scared. Sorry, I wasn't going out there and meeting girls. You know, I'd be so reliant on my phone, and, you know, there'd be times when I'd be out and I'd still be scared of like speaking to women, not speaking to women, etc. And so when you put all your reliance on a dating app in that regard, you know, you're avoiding, essentially, you're putting off that scary exposure that you want to do. It's just an excuse really not to go out and approach girls, and, you know, and possibly be rejected, which is the core fear there. Yeah, like I just said, it sort of shield you from that fear, and then you use a dating app as an excuse. You might say, oh, I'm too busy to go out and approach girls or approach people that I'm attracted to, you know, I have to use a dating app. I'm not saying that that isn't the case. I'm not saying that there isn't, you know, busy professionals out there who don't have time to actually go out and meet women and only need a dating app. But, you know, we need to be really careful if it's coming from that fear of rejection standpoint, right? So yeah, what else? Yeah, with dating apps as well, you know, that they're comprised of all of these algorithms, right? And the dating app doesn't really have your best interests at heart, right? They're trying to, you know, make money out of it. At the end of the day, they're doing things that suit them. They're showing the people that suit them, and you know, it's just a mixture of all of these algorithms. You don't know what's going to come up, and you know, when you're so reliant on that and you're not getting the results that you want on the dating app, which is, by the way, very, very tough, you know, as a guy especially, you don't really get many matches. You know, as a girl it's a different story, or it seems to be anyway, but you know, as a guy, you know, the numbers of women to men on dating apps are very, very different. There's a much higher number of men on dating apps than women, right? And you know, you can spend your time sending off all of these likes and trying to match to get dates, but you know, it's, in many cases, you're not going to get that, right? And this can actually reinforce low feelings of self-worth. You know, why haven't they picked me? Am I not good enough? Is there something that's missing from me? Obviously, looking at unconditional self-acceptance gets under that, and you know, really truly accepting yourself as a person regardless of who you are. But it's just subconsciously, if you haven't got to that state of unconditional self-acceptance, you know, the dating apps and, you know, the lack of success on them, which can happen, will maybe eat into your self-worth, right? It did for me. Like, I was a compulsive user, and you know, when I had, you know, self-esteem rather than self-acceptance, it was really, really getting me into trouble. But yeah, you know, it's also, like I just said there, it's a form of avoidance as well. You know, if you're just solely relying on dating apps, you know, you're just not going to get the results that you're after, and you're not going to desensitize to that fear of rejection, and you know, face a lot low frustration tolerances in terms of ROCD, and you're not going to get the results that you're after. I'm not saying that they're inherently bad, but you know, I'd really say just try and minimize the use of dating apps where possible. So yeah, that's about it for this video. Short and sweet one, and yeah, comment down below for what you think, and yeah, I will see you on the next one. Take care.